What's good, everybody? This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and we're back at it with a Black Clover Chapter 314 review and breakdown. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and make sure you stay up to date with the things that I'm doing in regards to anime, cannabis, technology, all different things like that. And if you want to support me directly, I do have my own manga out, the Most Random Manga Ever, and it's actually the first cannabis manga. So it has 11 issues. Definitely hit the description. Go ahead and check that out. But anyways, you know what we're here for. Black Clover 314. Now, this chapter, as well as like all the chapters like kind of leading up to this, I feel like they, not necessarily that they've been rushed, but there's a lot to cover, you know, and there's little things I feel like that are all gonna kind of play out, because this is kind of like the first time that we're finally getting kind of like everything that's been happening all aligning up around the same time. So it's been a minute since we've seen, you know, Mariona, and she starts off this chapter completely destroying the ancient demon that was in the Spade Kingdom. Now, what's crazy about this is everybody's just tripping out. Like, I didn't know that there was a single person who can destroy an ancient demon, you know, so she straight up incinerates this ancient demon, comes back down, and she's like, let's clean up the rest. And then she's talking to the spirit guardians, and I'm all like, was that just the trying to make them feel good? Because there's a running joke, like, these they ain't do shit. Oh man, there's like the Spade people was just there to bear witness of how powerful the Clover Kingdom is. And so what's interesting is that when we switch back to what's going on with the Black Bulls, Morris and everybody, there's finally we hear someone talk about William. You got Lagras and you have Patry. Now, I want to say that Nozel said this to Yami and not to William. And he said, make extra work for us, will you? And I think he was saying that in like a joking manner. And then, and you know what's funny? I originally, on one of my other videos, because the way that the panel had came out in one of the leaks, I had, you know, Dorothy kind of had looked like Sally. My bad, guys. But no, this is Dorothy. She says, great work, people. Now, I'm reading this directly from the final translation. So I know some people, they like to do the reviews as far as when the fan translation's out. But the only reason I kind of wait until the officials are out, because words, they do change the meaning of things. You know, there's certain reasons why the author himself put certain words in it. Now, we have the Big Black Bulls base. They're facing Yami. Then we get Morris. He's all freaking laid out, but then it looks like his head moves by itself. And it's just like, thank you for your service, human. And then you start seeing as far as the gate open up, the second level of the underworld opens, and you see Asta and Megan like, oh crap. Now what's interesting, and Zora's there as well. Now Morris goes, not Morris, but Lucifero says, in my case, even when the cliff off is absent, I can interfere with low-level devils from the underworld. Now that I've squeezed the last drops of life out of Morris, the accelerant, the gates of the underworld are opening even faster. And then we see all of these lower-level demons like being formed together, and you see as far as Yami and William in the mix being kind of like sucked into that. And then, you know, they're all like, Captain Yami, ah! And then they're like, Lucifero's like, I could combine all the devils from those first two levels. And then, you know, what's crazy is that he does the gravity magic, like, you know, so much so that everyone else on the outside is like literally on the ground, like how Asta was when he was going against Dante, or the other members when they were like pressed up and they couldn't do anything. The only person who's standing is Marileona. You know, and what's interesting is that we thought we was gonna physically see Lucifero, but it looks like he is creating the vessel with the combined demons to come out. And that is crazy. But the Black Bulls was just all like, we don't give a you know who you are. Vanessa does fate manipulation, absolute evasion. All the while, Charmy's getting people, you know, mana recovery with her food. Ghosh does the gray multiplication, so that way she does matter conversion and she changes the castle into the Black Bull's hideout. And then you have Gordon and Henry doing the cursed diversion, magic absorption, recombination, and they're like, basically you have Vanessa making sure that no one gets burnt, you know. Then you have Charmy, who's recovering everybody's mana. Then you have Ghosh, who replicates Gray, so that way all the debris and everything gets converted into the Black Bull Castle. And as far as Gordon's doing the cursed diversion, so that way Henry can do the magic absorption, and he's taking all of that, and then they recombination magic. They create the Black Bulls to be about the same size as the Lucifero quote-unquote host, and create the Ultra Giant Black Bull and punched it. It ends with that. Now, one of the things I do want to point out was the fact that, you know, Ghosh's eye is bleeding. That's how like hard they're going in right now. Now, this is a very interesting chapter. This is a very interesting chapter because it begs the question of what is about to go down. Where's William and Yami in the midst of this big old freaking thing? You know? On top of that, somebody brought up something interesting, and I'll do a screenshot when I find the video, the YouTuber that did it. But they brought up One Piece and how and spoiler alert if you haven't watched One Piece, it really wasn't a major death until Ace, which was like going on, it was like episode 4 or something, probably going to 500. So you had 500 episodes damn near without a major death. Now, Black Clover's gotten a lot of heat because of its, you know, its interesting relationship when it comes off killing characters. And for that big death to be Ace's death, it's like, oh man. Now, this YouTuber was stating that what if they're going the same lines with Black Clover when it comes to us getting this super gut-wrench at death, you know, and there's a possibility that the Black Bulls are going there to save Yami, that he still ends up getting murked to save one of them, of course. So let me know what y'all think about that theory. Again, that's not my theory. I'll do a screenshot of who basically, and maybe there's a couple of people thinking that, but where I personally saw it from. And so it really is hard to say. But what I do think is that there's a couple of things to take into consideration with, as far as this being chapter 314, and let's just say at the bare minimal, we get all in all Black Clover, let's just say it's 700 chapters. Let's just say that. We would be not even at the halfway mark at this point. be close to it, but we wouldn't even be at the halfway mark. So what more with everything that's gone down? We had gotten, everything from the beginning to this particular arc, and this one isn't even completed, and I think it probably will end up completing or like wrapping up around the 400th chapter. So with that being said, there would still be a cool 300 more chapters to go, so what are they going to be able to do with that? So I feel like this possibly is setting up for the actual villain, which may be Satan, like another person had said that, I want to say Anime Gasm had said something like that. And it's just all like, that could be a possibility, because arc-wise, it will be very, very interesting as far as for them to do this. And then let's just say at the end of this arc, Lucifero, gets pushed back or maybe even defeated, but there's someone higher than him. And that may be Satan, and that may be the ultimate boss that they end up having to create. And what would be crazy is if Yami does die, which I really hope he doesn't. It would be crazy is if he ends up being possessed, or his body or soul gets used to the point where Satan is using it and takes on the body, and the last mission, the last thing is that to, boom, do this, actually like basically kill Yami like again type of thing, but he's actually Satan. And then boom, in the whole thing, but there's still a lot to cover. We haven't gotten the dwarfs, we still haven't gotten the possibility of angels. There's actually still a lot that could be done, so let me know what y'all think. Anyways, this chapter is really, really dope. What I feel like is when we get into next chapter, I personally think Yami will end up surpassing his limits and helping out in some way. Now that he's conscious, what's crazy is we haven't seen William say like anything. Is he still knocked out? Why is it that Yami has become awakened as far as with this? And of course it could be because everybody shouted at him, Captain Yami, Captain Yami, but be a number of things, but I feel like there's gonna be a way, because Yami has to be able to, like, it's dark magic. I would think he would get some type of power up or something, being so, now again, it's not dark to say evil magic, but his magic does interfere, as far as within this type of thing. So I would just imagine if you are gonna kill him off, which I hope you don't, he gets one more power up of something super fire, and then on top of that, we still have the Land of the Rising Sun as far as Yami. So when it comes to where else this story could go, there's still a lot to cover. So anyways, guys, let me know what y'all think of this chapter. I'm excited to see what's about to go down. Do you think Yami's gonna get killed off? I would say it is a 40-60 with 60%, with 60% of him not. But there, it is getting close there, But anyways, so this composition MC that writes fiction. Make sure to hit the like, make sure to hit the subscribe button, make sure to hit the notification bell, and check out the link in the description because I have all my goodies. You can check out my cannabis manga, the very first cannabis manga that ever exists, called the Most Random Manga Ever. All in color, full color. Yeah, that's right. It reads from the back like a traditional manga. And then my latest single, Invincible Summer, you can check that out. And my other stuff as well. So again, this is Miss Composition MC that writes fiction. Peace.
The darkness, turn the galaxy into my office. Translate the thoughts into deep science. Got the sun in my pocket, build your resilience. So when the next winter cycle comes, I prepare with no losses. The work of the solo, it's a boss. At the heart of my winter, there's an invincible summer. Invincible summer. Too strong events